Hello, today I'll be talking about Module 10 outline. So, first question, I said I believe care work is to nurture, support, and care for others. Housework is the regular housework of a house, like cleaning or cooking. Market work is often done by employees or professionals and is paid. I believe they go unnoticed because of our society, such as occupational segregation or gender division of labor. Quinn mentioned that women had to face some difficulties to be accepted in the work field, but they were able to prove themselves by their work. Women employment became acceptable within the culture mainstream so rapidly in that part because of the kinds of paid work a woman did. He also mentioned women tend to have unpaid domestic reproductive work like nursing or housekeeping, division of labor, the allocation of work between men and women, society women at home do the lion's share of work, house, and care work. I believe that some of those jobs are not seen as valuable in our society. They can get compensated, compensated by having paid family leave, tax, and tax credit for caregivers. We realize that most laborers rely on those kinds of jobs to function. Second question, I said I believe gender division of labor impacts the family, increasing stress level, especially on women. It can impact the way children view gender roles. Women will usually work in housework and care work, while men will work in the market work. Cohen mentioned in the text how men had such opinions on their wives' jobs. This segregation meant that as women entered the workplace, even if some men were uncomfortable with their own wives leaving home every morning, Cohen also mentioned that women jobs relate to what they naturally do in their family or home, in their families or home. Their paid work is also concentrated in these areas, for example, nursing, childcare, and teaching, food service, and cleaning. I believe these factors have significant impact on our homes. They can create a distorted view of women roles, suggesting that their primary responsibilities are cleaning and cooking. Women often feel greater pressure to manage the household, even though domestic work should be a shared responsibility. This reflects broader issues of high expectations, gender inequality, and occupational segregation, which extends from the workplace into family life. Third question. Oh, this is the last question. Oh, third question, yes. I think by having a good wage, government support like tax or childcare and social recognition, we can we can't put a dollar amount on raising children, but we can provide support for their legal guardian to help. We can give childcare subsides or tax credit. We could use another way for compensation, like paid time leave or paid family leave. Cohen mentioned in the text we cannot put an exact payment for wife's housework, but they could try to guess. He also mentioned that women still struggle with their inequality in getting paid in the work field. He said the great majority of women entered the paid labor force and the struggle to achieve equality in unpaid work mostly remain within the private sphere of the family home. I believe that care work should be compensated with money as it reflects the hard work involved and highlights its value. This could be achieved through government programs, paid time, paid family leave, and flexible work schedules. Even without the financial compensation, social recognition and the equitable sharing of responsibilities can serve as meaningful ways to acknowledge and reward this labor. Last question, I said I believe work-family conflict is when you cannot fulfill the demands of either work or family. The conflict is when work and home responsibilities interfere with each other. I think typically employees or workers benefit when they prioritize their jobs. Families and women especially may lose. They can feel stressful or burnt out. Cohen discussed the idea of work-family conflict, which is when you cannot fulfill the obligation of work or family. He also mentioned that workers can face struggles like not being as productive or focusing on work due to the work-family conflict. I believe we could reduce work-family conflicts by implementing paid family leave, flexible schedules, and supportive workplaces policies. Culturally, we should place more value on the family and prioritize prioritize work-life balance on an individual level. Managing our time effectively allow us to dedicate attention to school, work, family, and personal relationships. It is important to remember to live intentionally, slow down, and make time for both responsibilities and self-care. That'll be it. Thank you.